Several new developments in South suburban Dolton today. First, the state comptroller has suspended some payments to the village because it has failed to follow the law by providing financial reports.
You could feel the anger tonight at a Board of Trustees meeting in Thornton Township. The board and citizens looking for accountability to their finances while the township supervisor.
Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dolton, Illinois, is once again making headlines, but not for her public duties. You'd think that someone earning around $300,000 a year would easily manage basic expenses like rent. However, reports reveal that Henyard is facing eviction for falling behind on her rent for several months. It's perplexing. How could someone in her financial position struggle with such a fundamental obligation? This situation raises eyebrows, especially considering her substantial salary. As more details emerge, the story is becoming increasingly complicated and messy, leaving many to question how a public official can find herself in this predicament. Hey, wait, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button for more interesting videos. Let's get back to our topic. The implications for her leadership and credibility are significant as the situation unfolds.
And I mean, unfortunately, we knew it was going to be a little messy, but it's just something we felt important that had to be done, that should be done. So, but like I said, you have just some kind of...
Let's break it down. Reports indicate that Tiffany Henyard is 3 months behind on her rent, which is surprisingly only about $1,100 per month, not exactly a mansion-level payment. It's hard to fathom that someone earning what many only dream of annually struggles with such a modest rent. This has left many people puzzled. To add to the intrigue, Henyard isn't the only name on the lease. Kamal Woods, her associate, is also listed. So, what's really going on here? Is this a subletting situation, or is there something more complicated at play? As the story unfolds, questions about their arrangement and financial management are likely to arise.
Is there a motion to terminate Keith Freeman?
If that wasn't enough to stir up controversy, the situation has become even more complicated. An eviction notice was filed on September 18th, giving Tiffany Henyard and Kamal Woods just 5 days to leave the property, with around $3,350 owed in back rent. Henyard's lawyer quickly intervened, alleging that the eviction is based on false pretenses. But this only raises more questions. Are they claiming that Henyard never signed the lease, or that she actually paid her rent, and it's all a misunderstanding? It's clear that this claim adds more fuel to the fire, leaving everyone wondering where the real mix-up lies.
Deep debt, and that is the finding of an investigation of village finances and the spending habits of beleaguered Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
For many, this story is just another chapter in the ongoing controversies surrounding Tiffany Henyard. It's not her first time in the spotlight for the wrong reasons. This eviction is seen as just the latest instance of questionable financial behavior. Henyard has previously been accused of misusing taxpayer funds for personal luxuries, including lavish trips to places like Las Vegas, renting luxury vehicles, and hosting extravagant street parties, spending tens of thousands of dollars in the process. Just last month, she organized a street party in her town, further cementing her reputation for being reckless with public money. This ongoing pattern has left residents concerned about her handling of funds.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
Could this eviction signal a larger issue with Tiffany Henyard's financial management? It certainly seems that way. It's hard to believe that someone accustomed to handling significant sums could simply forget to pay rent for 3 months. If that's the case, what other financial troubles might be lurking behind the scenes? Is this an indication that Henyard is spiraling financially? Or could there be a more calculated reason for her failure to pay such a basic expense? Some speculate that this could be a strategic move on her part, allowing her to play the victim. She might be positioning herself to argue, if I were really misappropriating funds, how could I be struggling to pay my rent? While it may seem far-fetched considering Henyard's track record, one can't help but wonder what her true motives are and what other layers this situation may hold.
He's absolutely not guilty of all 9 counts. I believe he's cooperating.
And if you cooperate, you have to admit your guilt first.
Tiffany Henyard's legal history is quite troubling. Public court records reveal that she has faced numerous lawsuits, many of which are either pending or recently resolved, and not all are connected to her role as mayor. Some of these cases date back to 2012, involving bank loans and personal debts, suggesting a long-standing struggle with financial and legal challenges. The most recent lawsuit, of course, pertains to her current eviction, adding yet another layer to her complex and concerning legal situation.
The government always does it is to go and investigate people around her, and that's what they're doing here.
What adds another layer of intrigue is speculation that Tiffany Henyard doesn't even live in the property from which she's facing eviction. Some insiders suggest that this house may be what's known as a trap house, implying involvement in illegal activities, not in the musical sense. There are rumors that Henyard and Woods have refused the property owner's attempts to conduct inspections, despite likely having a clause in the lease allowing such access. Why would they resist? It raises questions about what they might be hiding, fueling further suspicion among the public. This situation only deepens the mystery surrounding their financial and legal troubles.
Henyard fired her chief of police late last year without any approval from the village board. So now Robert Collins has filed a lawsuit against the village.
Tiffany Henyard's financial mismanagement is creating waves that extend far beyond her personal life. There are claims that public grants, including funds designated for youth projects, are being mishandled under her administration. A Freedom of Information Act request allegedly revealed troubling accounting practices within a grant project managed by Kamal Woods. Payments were made to various individuals and entities, some of which appear questionable. For example, Anthony Butler reportedly received over $66,000 for reasons that remain unclear. Such irregularities have raised significant concerns and led many to suspect that Henyard's financial troubles go far beyond just a few missed rent payments, hinting at a much larger issue at play.
The legal appointment, that's what the trustees I talked to are calling this. They say the news took them by surprise, and now they're talking to legal counsel to figure out their next step.
Let's revisit Tiffany Henyard's response to the unfolding situation. Through her lawyer, she has asserted that this is merely a smear campaign orchestrated by her adversaries. She claims to be under attack from what she describes as a corrupt board of trustees intent on undermining her leadership. Henyard even goes as far as to label their actions as attempts to subvert the will of the people. However, when facing an investigation for financial mismanagement and a barrage of accusations, it's difficult to maintain the victim narrative. Public sentiment is certainly not on her side. Residents of Dolton are becoming increasingly vocal about their frustrations. Some have even dubbed her America's worst mayor. Given the revelations that have come to light, it's not hard to understand why opinions about her leadership have soured so dramatically.
Were you?
It's not paid by them.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
It's not just the rent or grant controversies that have people buzzing. Tiffany Henyard is also facing a federal investigation into her financial practices, adding another layer of scandal. The FBI is reportedly examining her use of taxpayer funds for personal gain, particularly regarding her security detail, which has cost the town hundreds of thousands of dollars in police overtime. Allegations suggest that some of this security funding was utilized while Henyard was out of town, even for personal matters. This raises serious questions about her priorities and the use of public resources. Given the scrutiny she's already under for questionable spending, flying first class on the taxpayer's dime certainly doesn't help her image.
I am about to address some things as the supervisor. There will be no comments, there will be anything. It'll just be me addressing you guys to tell you what's going on.
It's no surprise that residents of Dolton are calling for Tiffany Henyard's resignation. However, she's not backing down easily. Henyard insists she is being unfairly targeted as a woman in power, suggesting that it's part of a boys' club resistant to her success. Whether or not this claim holds any truth is uncertain, but the reality is clear. She is under investigation, facing eviction, and her financial dealings are questionable at best. the mounting pressure on her leadership continues to intensify.
Administration is shameful. Y'all are a disgrace.
We're watching the fall of this administration.
The public reaction to this situation is adding another layer of complexity. If you browse through social media comments or YouTube videos discussing the story, you'll find a wave of frustration and disbelief. One commenter bluntly stated, "She doesn't pay bills, period, unless taxpayers cover them." Given the numerous reports of her using public funds for personal expenses, it's a hard point to contest. Another commenter suggested that maybe she's deliberately creating this narrative to deflect accusations of stealing. They imagined her saying, "While you're out here accusing me of theft, why can't I even pay my rent?" While this may seem like a stretch, it reflects the low opinion many have of her. Such bold assertions highlight just how far public trust in Henyard has eroded. People are ready to believe nearly anything about her at this point. This is a troubling sign for any politician, as losing the public's confidence can have dire consequences for their career and future prospects.
Fired her chief of police late last year without any approval from the village board. So now Robert Collins has filed a lawsuit.
What happens next is the big question on everyone's mind. With Tiffany Henyard's eviction court date set for October 22nd, all eyes are on her to see how this situation will unfold. Will she be able to extricate herself from this mess, or will this be the final blow to her political career? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. This story isn't going away anytime soon. Each new development adds complexity to the already tangled web of allegations and controversies surrounding her. And it doesn't end with eviction or mismanaged public funds. There are ongoing rumors about her involvement in even more serious matters as allegations of corruption continue to surface. With the FBI now involved, it's difficult to believe that this won't escalate into something more significant. Many anticipate that additional lawsuits and investigations are looming, especially if further details about the mishandling of public grants emerge. If those funds were indeed misused, Henyard could face legal repercussions that go far beyond simply being evicted from a property. The stakes are undoubtedly high, and the fallout could be profound.
Very appreciative to receive the information today. We have the best mayor ever. I've been here since 1993.
But the lingering question is, how did we reach this point? How did someone elected to lead her town become mired in so many scandals? Is it merely a case of poor judgment, or is there something more sinister at play? Ultimately, it's difficult to determine. What is clear is that the residents of Dolton deserve answers. They want to know where their tax dollars are going and why their mayor struggles to manage her finances. This leads to another pressing question. Can Tiffany Henyard recover from this turmoil, or is this the beginning of the end for her political career? We want to hear your thoughts, so let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for updates on this unfolding story.